Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. Happy Get Kraken on Christmas. So excited that you guys are all joining me. Feel free to chime in the comments. Let me know where you're coming from, where you're watching from. Let me know if you're going to be creating any holiday cards tonight. Maybe you're just going to be creating something else. I will give you guys just a minute, but then I actually have a special guest to bring on tonight because we have a really fun announcement. So, hello, Leslie. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Emily. Hi, Allison. Hi, Debbie. Hello, Jen. Hello, Angelica. Hi, Tina. Hi, Margot. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Daisy. Hopefully your package got to you okay, Daisy. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Judy. Hey, Laura. Oh, we got some prep work for some online lawn fawn classes. I love it. Hello, hello. We're blending backgrounds for Christmas cards. I love it. Hello, Annalisa. Hi, Claire. Lots of fun names tonight. Look at you guys all coming in. I love it. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And I will give you guys a little rundown about Get Kraken on Christmas. But before I do that, I want to bring on a very special guest. I don't know if any of you guys have any guesses as to who it might be. I'm going to wait a minute only because there's a delay. Ooh, doing laundry. No fun, but hopefully this will help make the time pass. Yay. I'm just going to wait a second to see if we have any guesses. I'm going to say it's kind of an easy guess. She's the only one that I've suckered into joining me in these crazy adventures. Gosh, no, it's not Chris. That's not a special guest. I have enough Chris time. Oh my gosh, I love it. No, it's not Mr. Holtz. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at, yep, Mr. Harley. Nah, no, Mr. Harley's sleeping. Sleeping. Jack is here with me on the rainbow rug. But as a lot of you guys have guessed it, it is Shari. I'm going to bring her on. Yay. Hi, Shari.
Hi. I'm not 10 volts. I'm sorry.
I know. That's okay. I'm happy that it's Shari. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are happy as well. So some of you might guess the reason why I suckered Shari into coming on to my live tonight. Did I just mention it this morning or was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, good. I was like, by the way, do you want to just hop on my live so we can announce our new class?
It was, at least 24 hours.
That was nice of me. That's pretty much how my brain works. I love when you guys email me and you're like, what supply are you using in your class 6 months from now? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing to class this fall. This past fall, we taught Happy Harvest because he is our beloved lawn fawn scarecrow. We have a love affair with him. And Shari wasn't completely scared. She actually, I think
I
had a
did
little
okay.
fun.
I handled it okay.
Um,
Probably
Shari
because
does,
we're all behind a screen and not sitting in front of me.
I was going to say, Shari does a ton of amazing videos for her YouTube channel and for Lawn Fawn's YouTube channel. But doing things live and being front facing like this is a little bit out of her comfort zone.
For sure.
But what are good friends? What are friends for without getting you out of your comfort zone, right?
True.
So a lot of you guys have been asking, and Shari and I are going to be teaching another online lawn fawn class together. Shari, do you want to say the name of it and give the date and stuff?
Birthday bash.
Ba-ba-bum.
May 21st.
Yes. So we are teaching birthday bash, yay, which,
Yay.
birthday cards are always good to have, and it's actually a little special that we're doing it in May because both Shari and I have May birthdays. So we
Yeah.
think May is the best month to celebrate birthdays.
Love all the May babies.
All the May babies. Um, and so our next online class, like Shari said, is May 21st. Of course, you don't have to attend live if you can't attend live. All the details and the sign up is on my website now. So you don't have to leave the live now to sign up.
Don't everybody run away.
Don't everybody run away. It's gonna fill out. So, but after tonight's live, you guys can sign up. And the featured stamp set is, that you guys might be able to tell from the little graphic. I just totally spaced on the
Really
name.
high five.
Thank you, Shari.
High
Really
five,
high
Jen.
five. Oh boy. So it is an older stamp set, which sometimes having an older stamp set as part of a class can be a challenge because not everybody has it. Not every store is stocking it.
Maybe you already have it though.
But if you already have it, you're good to go. If you're like a true Lawn Fawn fan, like, and you own everything, you're good. And then if you don't have it, you can order it. And if it's not there in time for the live class, you can always watch the class later. You can still join us live. Say that again.
Or still join us.
Yeah, still join us.
Later.
Yeah, but you can always do it later. And it's such a fun set. And then I think the other supplies in the class are ones we've used before in my classes. The only other one we're using is butterfly kisses, and I'm just using clouds and grass. So you can totally substitute it for another set that might have clouds or grass.
Any clouds or grass you want.
Yeah.
And somebody said I see glitter, and I used some glitter.
So the fun little story is Shari actually designed her cards first, and then I kind of used the supplies that she used and bring in a few other supplies. But Shari chunky glittered so well, and I was so proud. Like, she showed me pictures, and I was like, wait a minute. You put chunky glitter on those balloons, and I didn't have to tell you to. So I was very, very proud of her. It was like a proud moment. So of course I continued with the chunky.
Oh yeah, of course.
I see people talking about May birthdays. Mary said, May is a big birthday month for us. My two brothers, one of my sons, three of my grandkids, and my best friend all have May birthdays. Well, and I know Shari has a May birthday. I have a May birthday. My grandmother was a May birthday. Kelly's son, Miles, is May. I think her brother and her mom are May.
Oh, Kelly's?
I think so.
Sherry Carroll's is May because it's the same day as mine.
Patty Behan, who works for Ranger, she and I have the same birthday in May. So yeah, May is the best. I love it. Daisy May just multitasked. She just bought her ticket to class.
Yay!
Yay!
2 windows.
I know. Sorry.
Or you can do like the phone and
the phone and the iPad and the
all
computer.
the devices. Multitasking.
So I promised Shari we wouldn't keep her on too late tonight, especially since I only gave her 24-hour notice. Let us know if you guys have any questions about the class, or, I love to see your excitement. You guys seem really excited about it, and that makes me really happy. But if we don't see any questions come in, I will let Shari leave. I did put a link at the bottom of the screen in the grass, so you guys can go directly to the sign up page. But we will move on to get cracking on Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for Christmas.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. So Shari is my original get cracking on Christmas girl. I'm not, not to throw you under the bus, Shari, but
then things got busy.
Yeah, you haven't been getting cracking.
I haven't get cracking in a while.
Yeah, you haven't got cracking in a while.
Barb had and it doesn't happen.
Barb had a good question. Is Scrappy Chic doing kits? And yes, Scrappy Chic and the Paper Crafters Workshop are both doing kits. I believe that both of those are on their website now. If they're not, they will be at some point throughout the weekend. Scrappy Chic had to move their store to a different location, but in the same plaza. So they've been working really hard to get their store back in order. But I know that they were both planning to have kits live at this time. I forgot to check to see if they do. So if they don't, it'll be up, but both
Shortly.
stores will be doing kits.
It'll
Yes.
be shortly.
And for those of you that don't know, you can sign up for the class on my website, and then you can purchase a kit through Scrappy Chic if you're in the States, or you can purchase a kit through the Paper Crafters Workshop if you're in Canada. And that's a great way to try out the class. You know, if you've never done an online class with me before, it's a perfect way to spoil yourself so you don't have to do the kit yourself. Or maybe you don't own the stamp set yet and you want to try it out before you are Jan-abled or Shari-abled. We have to come up with a term.
It's just not, doesn't
Yes,
have the
it's not
same
the
ring to it.
But yeah.
Jan-abled via Shari. I don't know.
Yay.
Y'all can think on that one.
Yeah. I think we talked about this during Happy Harvest.
I still don't think
nothing really
anyone's come up with anything good.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll just stick to Jan-abled.
That works.
But anyways, Daisy said, thank you, Shari. We appreciate you joining us with such short notice.
No problem.
Daniel
Hopefully
says
we didn't have a date tonight.
Yeah, I know. Her husband
When's
Matt
my
was
date
like,
tonight?
are you gonna be on till like 10 p.m.? I was like, no, I won't keep you that long. Ooh,
He's like,
Sharified.
oh.
Ooh, that sounds really.
That sounds like doing something to a card, though. Like,
yeah,
I Sharified this card.
Oh yeah, that's kind of fun.
Can you pick out the Shari style?
Yeah. Mary says that I inspired her to decide on a mass-produced Christmas card, and she's going to start them tonight. Yay! That's awesome. So, all right. Well,
I wonder how many she's making.
Oh yeah, Mary, let us know in the comments how many you're making. I'm a little nervous for you. Jen says
it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah.
I made 100, so.
A lot of people are saying they've purchased their class ticket, so that's awesome. Again, don't feel like you have to rush over. There's no limit or limited seats in the online classes where I don't ship kits. So yeah, but anyways, well, thank you, Shari, for popping on to my Get Kraken on Christmas night. And those of you that don't care about my lawn fawn classes, thanks for putting up with it. We will let Shari leave and we will move on over to the task at hand. Thank you, Shari.
Bye. Enjoy. Have fun.
So let me switch over. Oh, hold on one second. All right. So real quick, you guys, if you're new to Get Kraken on Christmas, usually I dive right in and do Get Kraken on Christmas. But because we were launching the new class today, I didn't want to do two separate lives to kind of give you guys that information. And I know quite a few of you guys love doing my lawn fawn classes as well as Get Kraken on Christmas. So I figured we would kind of kill two birds with one stone type of deal. So the next live for Get Kraken on Christmas, you guys can see here, is on May 20th. I have all of the supplies listed below in the description if you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching me tonight on Facebook, there is a link to my blog post in the caption. So you can pop right over to my website and you'll see a link to all of the supplies there as well. Real quick, Get Kraken on Christmas is always the third Thursday of the month is when I post my card. I post some of my crafty friends are sharing holiday cards as well. And so I share those in my stories. I also link to them on my blog post so you guys can check out all of their creations and be inspired by them as well. And then I always host a live around the time of Get Kraken on Christmas. My friend 27 was like, Get Kraken was yesterday. Why are you going live today? I try to give you guys a little bit of time, a notice, reminder. So that's why I like to usually do it the next day after Get Kraken. But I also kind of just do it where it works best in my schedule because things are crazy with all kinds of other stuff going on. So I try to plan them out. So you guys will know. So you can see the next one is on May 20th. And then I will plan out the next few months after that. And I'll post a graphic similar to what you guys are seeing on screen so that you guys can kind of maybe pencil me into your calendars. This is our time to create together. You can learn how I created my card, but you also can use this time and work on your own cards. That was one of the big things that I've been hearing from you guys. If you hadn't had a chance to do your holiday cards, is you don't have enough time. Well, I was thinking, I was like, well, a lot of people make time to join me for my lives. So why not encourage them during those lives to not only listen and learn from me, but they can also be working on their own cards. So it's not meant that you have to do the same exact project that I'm doing. It's not meant that you have to have all the supplies that I'm using. It's more just like, let's hang out as friends together, get cracking on Christmas so that our fall is less stressful and we have more of our holiday cards created. All right, so normally I'm all set up with my phone camera. Tonight I was having a little bit of sound issues, so I am just setting it up very quickly right now. My sound was not working well with Shari and with my phone, so I kind of booted my phone. So bear with me as I get things set up. All right. Let's get going here. Oh, it didn't turn. There we go. I will get this figured out someday, you guys. Let's see here. Thank you for your patience. All right. So let me know in the comments. You probably had a little bit of an echo, but now you should not have an echo. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm seeing I'm echoing, but I think that might be from the delay. So give me some hearts and thumbs up. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Yeah, we are having a little bit of sound issues. I would like to say maybe I'll get it figured out, but I'm not quite sure if I really will. So now I'm going to pull a little Mr. Rogers, and I'm actually going to put on, this is an old, I'm going to hold it up, an old Tim Holtz hoodie that I got years ago when I took a class with him here in Massachusetts. And it's kind of like my apron. I wear it when I'm getting inky because I don't mind if it gets inky, and it's going to protect my clothes. And since we are using distress sprays tonight, I wanted to make sure I'm all covered up. I don't want to ruin my bright pink shirt that I love so much. All right, so for Get Kraken on Christmas tonight, if you guys have been following, I have been playing with my distress spray stains and my distress oxide sprays so much. I've been getting ready for my online distress technique class, which shameless plug if you haven't registered for that class yet. It is next Saturday live, but as always, you guys can totally take the class whenever you would like. My first distress technique class last spring was all about the ink pads. Highly, highly recommend that class as well. But this class is going to be all about the sprays. So I'm going to talk about them tonight, but we're going to dive into them really deep and get super inky and have a ton of fun next weekend in class. But because I've been playing with them so much, I've been having fun coming up with different ways to show you guys how you can use them. Because sometimes you learn a technique and you're like, okay, well, now what do I do with that, right? So, this was a really fun way to use the sprays and make 4 cards very, very quickly. And they're all slightly different. I'll kind of talk about them. Actually, I'll mention kind of the differences now. Um, so for this one right here, you guys can kind of see maybe the more muted tones. It's not as bright. I did all of the inking on these, on this one, on the Distress Craft Heavy Stock. So it started with craft paper, and that's kind of why the colors are all a bit muted. Um, and then this one, this one here is just the spray stains. And all of them have a little bit of the Distress mica stains. And we'll talk about those in a minute because they were limited edition, but I have some ideas for you guys. But you can kind of see that shimmer. And then this one here is just the spray stains as well, but I did some water droplets. Okay. And then this one here is the spray stains and the oxide sprays. So you guys can kind of see up in here, there's some oxide droplets. But really, these 4 cards came together so quickly. We're actually going to make quite a few, I think 3 or 4 cards tonight. And hopefully you guys will see how quickly they come together. All right. So the background is this Ink Blot Shop stamp. You guys all know by now I'm super addicted to all things snowflakes, and I just love this background set that has the teeny little snowflakes, but then all these little circular whimsical snowflake dots. I just love it. And I did pre-emboss some of the backgrounds, but I also wanted to kind of walk you through the whole process. I didn't want to pre-do too much because I think this is a learning night, right? So I already have my Ink Blot Shop stamp right over here in my regular size MISTI. And this is some of that sticky grid paper from Sizzix because I want to be able to put my paper in the center so that I can get the snowflakes all over, right? I don't want to have it in the side like you normally would with a MISTI. And then what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be white embossing or any type of embossing, I'm going to prime my paper with the Cottontail powder tool. This is going to take all of the static electricity off of my cardstock. It's also going to take off any of the oils that maybe I left behind pressing my paper down from my fingertips. And it's just going to make it so that the embossing powder only sticks to our stamped image and hopefully nowhere else. I am working on Distress Mixed Media Heavy Stock. It does have a little bit of an off-white coloring to it, but because we are spraying the whole backgrounds with the spray stains that are so vibrant, it's okay to me that this has a little bit of an off-white coloring. You can use Distress White Heavy Stock, which is also a favorite of mine, and you also can use Distress Watercolor cardstock, which I did. I'm just looking at what I pre-embossed. I did do 1 sheet of that. So I'm going to ink up this stamp with my Versamark ink pad. I do like to use a white embossing, a white pigment ink when I'm doing white embossing, like sentiments and things on black cardstock. But for a background like this, and not necessarily words, using your Versamark pad works fine for me. If you guys have questions, definitely put them in the chat. Just remember, it is delayed for me. So if I don't answer right away, just give me some patience. And if you're catching this on replay, you still can comment and tag me in your comment. So I'll get a notification and I'll be able to answer it for you. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love for you to like the video and make sure you're subscribing to my channel. I always forget to say those things. You guys are usually really good and you remind me. All right, so now that I have the background stamped, I'm just going to carefully take this off because right now I don't know where there's a safe place on the edge to touch the cardstock. I'll know in a minute once we get some embossing powder on here. My favorite white embossing powder is the Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. I've tried all kinds, and this is the one that I have found works the best for me. And as a reminder, you guys, I have all the supplies linked in the description on the YouTube. And on Facebook, I have the blog post linked. And in my blog post, I have everything listed and linked as well. So I'm just making sure I am getting my powder everywhere on this background. Oh no, Laura says that she got some Copic marker on her brand new coffee and crafting sweatshirt. It's good to hear that the rubbing alcohol got it out. Or maybe you just need to buy a second one, Laura. One will be for the craft room and one will be not for the craft room. I know I've been wearing my glitter all the things one a lot. And so it's bound to happen eventually, getting something on it. I actually just wrote up my reorder for all the crafty gear. And I actually stopped by the local printer that I use, and it's probably going to be at least a 3-week turnaround, but those are ordered and we'll get those in. So if you guys clicked notify me on my website for any of the crafty gear that maybe I didn't have the size that you wanted, then you'll get a notification once they come in stock. And that's what I have reordered. And I reordered a few extras, but it's so hard to know what sizes, what styles, and all that jazz. I love it. Hi, Brienne. Brienne likes to call my crafty gear shirk merch. I love it. It's so cute. All right. Hopefully, I don't know how well you guys can hear me when the embossing gun is running, but I'm going to let it warm up a minute before I start embossing. And I have no stray embossing powder thanks to that Rabbit Hole Designs Cottontail powder tool, which I carry those in my shop now. I like to emboss from the back. I find that your powder doesn't blow away, and if you do scorch your cardstock a little bit, nobody's going to see because it's on the back. Does just take a second longer because the heat isn't bouncing off of the table space. Also strategically moving my fingers. Let me know, I think I might have missed it, you guys, at the beginning of the video, but let me know in the comments if you're getting crafty tonight or if you're just sit back and relaxing. I know my friend Jen mentioned she's doing laundry. Hey, if I can help pass the time even doing laundry, that works, right? Jen and Lindsay just got back from their honeymoon. I'm so excited. We're going out to dinner together tomorrow night, so we get to hear all about it. All right, so it's almost done. So now I'll bring the embossing gun to the front and just get any of those little spots that maybe I missed. I'm just checking it. Oh. Making sure. This light, the light that I have set up for the lives, it actually makes it really hard for me to see the embossing. But so trust me, it's embossed. You can kind of see it there. And so now we have we're going to do 3 cards tonight, and you'll see kind of how quickly they come together. But I got my 3 backgrounds already embossed. 2 of them are on that mixed media heavy stock, and then 1 is on the smooth side of the Distress watercolor cardstock. All right, coloring up some more Lawn Fawn, Berry Rainy Day stamps. I love it. Melanie says she's crafting along with me. Maxine's crafting, but not Christmas. That's okay. Danielle's doing the Rain or Shine class tomorrow, so she's finishing up prep. And, oh, Kathy, you're cast. Oh, no. Do what you can. Be kind to yourself. All right. So, like I mentioned, I am using Distress spray stains, all right? I'm also using Distress oxide spray. And then I also brought in some of the Distress mica stains. Now, the Distress mica stains came out in the fall of 2021, and they were part of limited edition seasonal sets. So if you don't have them, the odds of you finding them are probably going to be really slim to none. But I still wanted to use them because I thought maybe some of you guys might still have them and you want to be inspired with them. And there's other ways that you could make your own Distress mica stains. I tend to always have a water mister, and I use the Lawn Fawn liquid stardust in it with some water. And I'm sure you could probably put some Distress Re-Inker in here to color it and make your own colored shimmer sprays. It won't have the same properties, but it'll work similarly. So there's always different ways, to add shimmer. And again, I try not to use stuff that you guys can't get, but I also was like, I bet a lot of people have them and they want to be inspired with them. Maxine just bought the platform pop-up, so she needs to play with it. I love it. Donna's listening in. Hi, Donna. And Melanie broke out the Christmas mica stains. Woohoo! Jen is asking what the difference between the spray stains and the oxides are. And the spray stains are just like regular Distress inks. They have a translucent property to them, and they're like a water-based dye ink pad with water reactive properties. And the Distress oxide sprays are similar to the Distress oxide ink pads, where they have a more opaque look to them. They are still water reactive. They still have that different water reactive properties, but they're like a pigment dye fusion. And we talk a lot about the differences between regular Distress and oxides in my first Distress technique class. But that's the gist of it. All right. Yay. Thanks for popping on, Gina. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I didn't really think it out very much because when I'm playing with my sprays, I just play, honestly. I mean, in class next weekend, I have some structure, but when I was making these backgrounds, I honestly was just playing. So I'll kind of talk out what I'm doing, but I'm not necessarily doing exactly the same things as I did on these cards. And I think that is totally okay, right? It's all about creative play. So we have an embossed image on the background, which is essentially going to resist the inks. But what I'm going to first start to do is I'm just going to use my Distress sprayer. It just has water in it. And I'm going to give a good, decent mist of water. That way, when I go to start to spray my sprays, I'm not going to have that spray look. Right away, there's water on here, so when the sprays hit the water, they're going to start to be very fluid, and that's kind of the look that we're going for. My backgrounds tended to be more teal because my sentiments are the reddish pink. So I'm just looking at what I have pulled out here. I have evergreen bough, peacock feathers, and salvage patina for regular distress spray stains. And then I have the same colors in the oxides. And then I also have some cracked pistachio. So I'm actually going to do oxides for this one. I did not do an all oxide background for my post yesterday. So I think that would be fun to do tonight. I just put a paper towel beneath my paper. I am working on a glass surface, so my cleanup will be fairly easy, but I am trying to contain the ink a little bit. I do have a Tim Holtz splat box, but I'm not sure how much I like using it when I'm live. All right. Awesome. Thanks for joining in, Bethany. Enjoy relaxing. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Brandy. Yes, and then the mica ones are like regular distress spray stains, and then they have the mica in it. You can kind of see it at the bottom. So Miss Nickerson is my friend Jen. And those of you guys that follow me on social media, you see my fun friends on Cape Cod. We all get together and have all kinds of fun and shenanigans. And none of them are crafty per se, like paper crafting. But Jen and Lindsay own Wash Ashore Jewelry, and they're crafty in their own way, but not necessarily making cards. And I love that Jen and Lindsay tend to attend most of these lives, and they're learning more and more about this craft. And Jen takes it very seriously, which I appreciate. All right, I'm going to start with Salvage Patina Distress Oxide Spray. I just missed it a little bit more water because I was talking for a long time, and I wanted to make sure that there's some good movement when I start spraying. So we've got a little bit of that salvage patina. I am going to add a little bit of peacock feathers. Annalisa says, I love watching you and your fun friends. I love watching me and my fun friends too. I'm hoping this summer we'll have a little bit more fun. Obviously, with the pandemic, things have been a little weird. All right, and I'm adding just a little bit of evergreen bough, which is a different color for me. Tim would be proud, using a non-bright color. All right, so you can see the ink is very puddly on here. You can even see it kind of moving around. I love to let it move. I don't worry about it. I let it kind of do its thing. All right. And now I'm going to break out my Ranger heat tool. I'm not going to use an embossing gun anymore. I'm going to use my Ranger heat tool. This way I can really keep the heat on my surface without worrying about scorching the paper. And I'm just kind of letting some of that ink run down. As it's drying, some of these streaks are going to dry and it's going to look super yummy. You guys know me, I could do inky backgrounds all day long. All right. It's really pretty. And I didn't do any water like droplets or anything just yet. So I heated it until it was a little dry. It's not crispy dry, but it's a little dry. And now we'll bring in some mica stains. So I'm just shaking them up, getting that ball to rattle to mix up that mica at the bottom. This is not the same as a blow dryer. I think some people have used a blow dryer, but the Ranger heat tool is a diffused heat. It isn't as focused of a heat as an embossing gun. If you like to do any inky techniques, I can't tell you enough to have a heat tool is so worth it. So worth it. I am so lucky. I do have some of the best friends, Annalisa, and they've all been roped in to helping me with my in-person events here on the Cape. And I'm so lucky that I think they actually enjoy doing it, which is awesome. All right, so I'm adding some of that mica, and while it's wet, I'm going to go in here with my distress sprayer and start to add some water. Kind of doing more the droplets with the sprayer. That's what's great about the distress sprayer is you can do a full pump down and you get a nice fine mist, or you can kind of toggle it like barely squeezing and it will spit out like little droplets that you can actually see on my hand right there. Love that. So now we've got more movement and it's all about building layers. And that's why I love the Distress line of papers. Like this is the mixed media heavy stock, the white heavy stock, and the watercolor cardstock. All take to all of this water, wet, inky techniques really, really well. Hello, Paula. Thanks for joining. And so, like I was mentioning at the beginning of my live, you guys, creating these backgrounds does not take long at all. I know this one seems like it's taking me a long time, but I could be doing like 3 backgrounds at the same time, heating them at the same time, spraying them at the same time. And I know somebody mentioned tonight they're working on mass producing some holiday cards. This is a fun way to quickly get some quick backgrounds done and get a stack of holiday cards made, which is also really fun. So I have it dry. Again, it's not crispy dry, but it's dry enough. And I'm actually now going to go in and I'm using the Distress Sprayer again. I'm toggling it to add some droplets. And I'm going to let those kind of just do some magic. Remember, Distress ink loves to react to water. So see those droplets, and I'm going to just set that one aside and kind of let the water do its thing. All right, let's go ahead and do another background. This time, this is Distress Mixed Media Heavy Stock as well. I'm going to mist with some water. And let's go in with some spray stains. Okay, so not the oxide. And hopefully you guys can already see how they're much more translucent. That was Evergreen Bough. This is Salvage Patina. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Peacock Feathers. And then I'm going to kind of let it run. Oh, yeah. Love it. I posted a little story last weekend. I was making some backgrounds with the sprays, and it was like Easter egg dyeing for adults. Like, it just was so much fun. Thank you, guys. Kathy says she bought the heat tool last year. It's been a game changer for drying between layers. It really is. Sometimes having all the supplies, like having all distress inks, but not having the right tools to be successful with those supplies really makes a big difference. And I talk about this a lot, but I didn't notice how important the heat tool was until my original heat tool died on me. I'd had it for over a decade. It finally died. And I took a little while ordering a new one, and I was using my embossing gun. And I just was like struggling with inky techniques that I do all the time. And it made me realize as a teacher how some of you guys were probably struggling, and it was because you were using an embossing gun, and I didn't realize how much of a difference it really, really made. But look at this. No shimmer in this one yet, but see how pretty all those colors. I also just love how vibrant and intense colors you can get with the sprays versus doing this with ink pads. All right, so now I'm going to add some mica stains. So I'm going to add a little snow flurries. Get some shimmer in here, a different way of glittering all of the things. And I'm going to add a little bit of frosted juniper, which again is a very different color for me. I'm very proud of myself. Guys, if you know me, you know I stick to the brights. And now I'm just adding some water to kind of get some movement. And I'm going to start to dry it. I love the mica stains. I know that they're not going to become part of the regular line, these colors per se, but I'm kind of hoping it just means they're going to come out with different colors this holiday season. Um, and even though I'm a Tim Holtz maker and I do get stuff ahead of time, I honestly don't know if that's something that's going to happen. So I'm not giving away any secrets. But yeah, I love them. I love how the drips, because I'm drying with the heat tool while I'm letting the inks move, the drips are drying in place. And I think that's really very cool. Annalisa says, I'm quite shocked by the non-bright colors you are using. I do try to do some different things, like, you know, yes, these are very teal, but the whole sentiment is going to be reds. I try to switch it up, you guys. Some days I can do that, and some days I can't. So it's not crispy dry, but it's dry enough. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to set that one aside. And then this is Distress watercolor cardstock, which in my opinion is the best watercolor cardstock. It's a great price point, easy to buy. You know, you can find it almost anywhere. And I just know how it's going to react every time I use it. It's consistent. So it's a good watercolor cardstock. So again, I always like to mist with water so that we don't just get that mist look when I spray with my sprays. Let's see, this time I'm actually going to start with the mica. So we'll start with Snow Flurries. And I was thinking, I've already done the sentiments, the backgrounds, but I should have kept one where we could have done a red background, but I wasn't thinking. All right, and now I'm going to bring in some regular peacock feathers. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to leave it. I think just the two. Get some movement. It does look like tropical water. Can see if as ink pools on my edges, I kind of just tap it on the paper towel that's under me. I'm not worrying about my paper bending. It'll all flatten out again when I need it to. It's kind of just letting it do its thing. Oh, I love it. So pretty. You guys see that shimmer? Is there a difference between the stains and the Distress Oxide sprays, or are they the same? So I did chat about that a little bit at the beginning, Abby, but the spray stains are translucent and dye-based, and the oxide sprays are a dye pigment fusion and they're opaque. So, and I do go over a lot of the differences in the regular Distress and the oxide in my very first Distress technique class that I did online that's still available. And the sprays are the same properties somewhat to the ink pads. So, but yeah, look at that. Donna's thinking that I can use this as a background. And Jen says that her and Lindsay want to play with the inks. All right. So I'm just moving my messy paper towel aside. And so now we've got our 3 backgrounds. And the one thing I like to do is I actually take a paper towel, and even though we embossed the background with embossing powder, um, it I don't need a full paper towel. I like to conserve. I actually have not had paper towels in my studio space in years because I always use my flour sackcloths, you guys know. But when you're doing a lot with sprays, it's nice to have the paper towels. So yeah, it's weird for me to be using paper. But anyways, I emboss the backgrounds, which are resisting the inks, but sometimes the inks pool up. Let me see if I can bring it up. So see how the inks are kind of pooling up on those snowflakes? I want to make sure that those snowflakes are really shining and, living their best life. So I just dampen a paper towel and I'm just going to touch it on the snowflakes to get any of that extra ink off that's kind of pooling up on the embossing. And you're going to actually see, if you were doing this, it won't show up on the video, but your snowflakes, the detail of your snowflakes come back to life because there isn't any ink pooling up around those little details. Again, I love, love, love this background stamp from the Ink Blot Shop. And Tiffany, the owner of Ink Blot Shop, is the sweetest. She is one of the crafty friends. We, pre-pandemic, would get together a couple times a year, and she would be there. And it just so happened when we were getting together, I always needed to make name tags for my in-person art retreat. And so I suckered in some of my friends to help me, Shari being one of them. And poor Tiffany, she was so nice. And I think it was the first year I met her. And she's like, "Oh, do you need any help?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like very typical me, like somebody offers. And I'm like, "Yup." And then she got sucked into helping me make name tags. But I think she had fun doing it. So yeah, aren't these so beautiful? And they almost look like galaxy-ish. They almost look like starry backgrounds too. But so now I cleaned all that extra pooled up ink off of those little snowflakes, so that they would show up better. And I'm just going to dry them a little bit more, because we are going to start to do some assembly. See if I missed any questions. Yeah, these paper towels are like the shop paper towels. I thought Lindsay would like this. It's like glittery, but not glitter. All right. So I'm just kind of getting this a little bit dry, more dry. I agree. The backgrounds are so pretty on their own, and that's why honestly these cards came together so quickly because I didn't feel like I needed to do a ton to them. They kind of steal the show on their own, right? All right. So I also let people know, like if you don't own any of the spray stains or even any of the oxide sprays, I still think, but you're intrigued, I still think it's worth signing up for my online class, because it's really affordable and you can listen in on the live and watch all of my hours and hours of demos and then decide if you really want to jump in and play with them. I think that's the best thing about the online classes is you kind of check them out before you maybe invest in the supplies. Mary says, "I love those backgrounds so much. They might be my mass-produced cards for next year." Mary, did you let us know how many cards you were making? I might have missed it if you commented. All right, so I put together 3 kits already, but I just want to show you guys. I'm using this Merry and Bright die set from Simon Says Stamp. It's one of Kathy Zielski's designs. I love, love, love all of her sentiment dies. I think they're a great investment to have because they're these clean, usually clean fonts is very Kathy Zielski. And I just think that they're awesome to have in your stash to kind of pull out and add to any card. So all of her sentiment dies are great. But so it comes with Merry and Bright. It comes with a little backer, a couple snowflakes, and some stars. And I pretty much utilized it all. On my cards, I did for my website, I did put the backgrounds through my die cut machine with the largest outside in stitched rectangle from Lawn Fawn. I'm obsessed with this die. It's Shari's fault. But it gives you that perfect little border, but also gives you the little stitching. Tonight, I'm actually just going to trim it with my paper trimmer. So no stitching, but that's okay. So we're going to trim these down to be 4 by 5 1/4. Yvonne says, I think I'm being Janabled. I need that die set. You can feel it coming on, Yvonne. All right. So again, I'm just trimming these to be 4 by 5 1/4. So Mary says that she does about 50 mass-produced holiday cards and 10 more involved ones for close family members. That's awesome, Mary. All right. So now that those are all trimmed, we are going to add them to red bases. So this is Lawn Fawn Chili Pepper cardstock. It's such a good red. Just like I said, Lawn Fawn has a great red ink pad, Lobster. Their red cardstock is also really awesome. And I'm just going to use some foam tape to add a little bit of dimension behind these layers. Yay, Stephanie says that has this die set in her wish list. Might be making it into my cart. You guys are so funny. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with sentiment dies because they work great if you even want to just make a card with patterned papers. They work great with any fun backgrounds that you're making. And they're timeless. Like they'll work over and over, all different styles, I just think. And I love Kathy's. Obviously, she has a great sense of design. She's a graphic designer by trade, and I just love her use of typography. All right. So once we get this done, I'll explain how I did the sentiments, which I accidentally did them differently for the live, but I think it's good because it'll show us a different way of doing things. I feel like my brain was a little scatterbrained this week. I don't know why, but oh yeah, don't push it, Kathy. You want to get better and don't hurt your elbow more. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All those pieces cut, Daisy, for your platform pop-up. I can't wait to see the scenes you're going to build. So the way that I line these up, and there's many ways of doing it, many tricks, but I always kind of lined it up like the spine of a book. You can see how the left side I put down, and I make sure that there's an even border on the left side, even border of red on the left. Top and bottom are all the same width, and then I just let it fall down into place. Hello, Beth. Thanks for popping in. I'm so happy you guys are excited about the next Lawn Fawn class. I'm excited that Shari's teaching with me. It was so fun when we did the class this fall. Excuse me. All right, so we've got our 3 backgrounds. Let me move my mess off camera. The joys of live. All right. So what I did for my sentiments on the cards I posted on my site yesterday is I made a bunch of red backgrounds, just like I did the blue backgrounds, but there was no embossing to them. And what I used was picked raspberry spray stain, festive berries spray stain. The mica stains, I used winterberry and peppermint stick. And then there is a little worn lipstick in some of them, Distress Oxide. And so I just made a bunch of backgrounds, and then I cut out the background of this die from that. And then the sentiment I cut out of either gold glittered cardstock or gold metallic cardstock. And then, excuse me, the snowflakes and the stars, I just alternated. If I had gold sparkle cardstock, I did gold metallic for the snowflakes and stars. And if I did gold metallic for the sentiment, I did gold sparkle for the snowflakes and stars. But when I was not paying attention this week and getting ready for this, I die cut the words out of the red backgrounds that I made. But I think that that's going to be really cool because now we're going to mat them on the metallic cardstock. So we're just switching it up completely. And I think that's great because it's showing you guys some more ways of switching up your supplies, but doing the same exact thing. Thanks, Shelly. Thanks for popping in. Yay. Thanks, Beth. Well, if you're just popping in, Shari was on my live at the beginning and we announced our next class together as well. And registration is available for Birthday Bash. So you don't need to leave the live now to sign up. There's no limited seats. But after the live, you can go on over to my site and read all the details. So Shari was my secret guest tonight. I had her sneak in for a few minutes at the beginning of my live. So I'm just using the Lawn Fawn glue tube, and I just add a little glue around the sentiment. And then I'm just going to add it onto this gold backer piece. Very similar way of how I do the other layer. I just kind of let the left side fall down and then just let everything fall into place. Paper has a memory, so it kind of knows where it's supposed to go. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Thank you. Yeah, red and gold. Very different for me. Those of you guys that know me, I love to do non-traditional holiday colors. So I did obviously threw in picked raspberries, but I love teal and pink and lime green for the holidays. So having this look very true red, it's different for me, but I like how it came out. I like the blue and the red together. It's a fun, unique holiday color combo. But if you love more traditional, you can totally recreate these cards and just switch it up and have it be red and green. Totally would be really cute. All right. So we're just laying this down into place. Cute. And then we've got one more. So all of this little die cutting, remember, I have a small die cut machine that I use. And it really just makes my life so much easier than using my bigger die cut machine. It's nice that it fits right on my desk and I can just die cut away. Honestly, that's probably why I wasn't paying attention and I did this differently. But I think this was a happy mistake. I started to make new red backgrounds to do it the right way. And I was like, no, this is actually going to give so many other ideas. All right. Oops. I can hear Jack playing in the kitchen. He can barely meow, but he does this little like chirping. And for those of you that don't know, Jack is one of our 3 kitties. He's the youngest. I always just announce it in case you guys can hear him in the background and you're like, what is that I'm hearing? All right, you like that? I like slap it. All right, so now we have our 3 backgrounds, or our 3 sentiments, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna throw some foam tape onto these. Guys know me, foam tape all the things for some dimension. So the background stamp, somebody just came on and is asking what supplies. So I have all the supplies linked on my blog post, Seal. I see you're watching on Facebook. And the blog post is linked in the caption of this live. But the background stamp is Ink Blot Shop. It's this really fun snowflake background. And then the sentiment and the stars and the snowflake is Simon Says Stamp. Merry and Bright, one of Kathy Zielski's designs. Ah, yes, Beth. I was wondering if there was something for the Hero Arts event tonight. I couldn't remember. Hero Arts is doing a fun virtual event this weekend. I think it's called Stamp Along. My trade show bestie Libby is doing that, along with some other great teachers. That worked out perfectly because I'm not teaching live this weekend. I mean, but no classes. There's so many fun virtual things going on. All right, so now I have my 3 sentiments and my 3 backgrounds. And what I did is some of the sentiments I put more towards the bottom of the card. And some of them, I put them more towards the top. And then, heck, let's just put one in the center. Again, all the different ideas. Joy says her cat Marley was the quietest scaredy cat when she was a kitten. Now she jumps up on me, taps my face, and constantly meows for attention. I love that. Jack is 3. And he is a little bit of a skitty kitty, but he just does these little baby squeaks, and sometimes he even just opens his mouth and nothing comes out. And he's an all black cat, so when he opens his mouth, you see his little bottom fangs, and it's adorable because he literally just opens his mouth and nothing comes out. All right, then we have our snowflakes and our stars, and I did them all out of the glitter cardstock. I'm just kind of figuring where they're going to go. And we got the stars as well. So I'm going to start to place them down. Oh, look, I meant to put one in the center and I put it at the bottom. Talking and crafting at the same time. Jack is a sweetie. He's my only snuggly kitty. I've had cats my whole life, and none of them want to snuggle with me, but Jack does. So he can be a jerk to his other brothers, but I don't really care because he snuggles me. So he gets away with it. Oh my gosh, Brienne. So there was a Hero Arts live at 8, me at 8, and was Vicky live tonight too? Is she live too? How are you doing, Brienne, with your schedule? How are you doing over there with all your choices? You're multitasking at your finest. So I'm just sprinkling these. I tend to do kind of diagonals. I know sequins and images like this are sometimes tricky on how to do placement, but I just kind of clustered them near the sentiment and I kind of kept things at a diagonal is kind of my thought process. There's really no right or wrong way, but I also don't like to fidget with stuff forever, so I kind of just get it somewhere, and if it looks decent, I go with it. So I'm still just using the Lawn Fawn glue tube to add some glue to get these down. I took my polish off my nails today and just did like a clear because I knew I was going to get all inky, but my fingernails seem so naked. Brienne says, I'm bouncing around and distress spraying all of the things. I love it. All right. So one card done, you guys. And if you wanted to mass produce these, just like you could do a bunch of the backgrounds at once, you could sit and just like die cut all the sentiments at once, which is pretty much what I did to get my little kits ready for tonight's live. Did not take very long. And then you do all your assembly at once. Or, you do them in bunches if you're going to be doing a lot. Maybe in bunches of 10 or something like that. I have a hard time mass producing too much because I get bored. That's another reason why I like doing this Get Kraken on Christmas series, because I'm doing something different every month to get my holiday cards done. But I know a lot of people love to mass produce a card for the holidays, which is totally okay. I used to do that. There were a number of years that I would make around 100 cards, and they always featured Mr. Harley, which is my oldest kitty, in some creative way. But I just personally, I get burnt out from mass producing the same thing over and over. So I love doing this Get Kraken on Christmas series because not only are you doing a few cards every month, but you're using different supplies, and honestly, the different seasons and the different moods inspire you to try different things. And then I find that I am actually using all the holiday stamps that I buy from all the companies because they're all so cute and I can't say no. So that's honestly why I started this series, was to justify all my purchases, right? This one I'm going to tuck in over here. I didn't really tuck in any others, but because of the placement of the sentiment. Oh yeah, you can definitely watch this on replay if you're late. It'll be on replay on Facebook and on my YouTube channel. So no worries. No worries at all. And look at that, you guys. 3 cards in about an hour, I would say. Because remember, Shari was on at the beginning with me. And I love the gold background and the red sentiment. Different than what I posted on my website, but I like that it's different, giving you guys even more ideas and things to think of. Yes, Donna says we need to justify, right? I mean, I really don't have to. Nobody cares what I buy, but I don't like stamps to sit here unloved. But yeah. So then we've got, right? All the different. I actually really like the gold background. I think it's really, really pretty. Sandy says 10 of the same is about her limit too. Yeah, I get bored. I get bored easily. I love this one, the background of that one on the right. Oh my gosh, it's amazing, Mary. Tonight, Mary was able to get 50 card fronts cut and dry embossed. A great head start. That is so awesome. So awesome. And then we have this guy here, which I know looks a little muted, but remember I did it on the Distress Craft Heavy Stock, and it's pretty. It's like a classic color for a holiday card, right? So it's using the same exact supplies as these cards, but because it was on the Craft Heavy Stock, the colors are a bit more muted. So yeah, you guys, that's that. I'm gonna switch this camera and then I'm gonna try, let's see. So just a reminder, um, the next Get Kraken on Christmas, it's the 3rd Thursday in May, but my live will be May 20th. So you guys can go ahead and mark your calendars, pencil me in, and then I'll come up with some other future dates after May for the next few months, and I'll make a new graphic to be able to share with all of you guys. Make sure that you check out my blog post. I have all of the supplies linked and listed. If you're watching on YouTube, I have all of the supplies listed, or the main supplies listed in the description section. I would love if you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe. That only helps other people find my videos. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. But thank you guys so much for joining me for Get Kraken on Christmas. Let's show you those cards one more time. Look at that, you guys. I love it. I'm like admiring my own cards. 7 holiday cards done. Somebody said that I find coming up with the design takes me the longest, for sure. But just remember, I hope this design shows you how simple it can be, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. You can keep it simple, just a couple supplies, really not a lot. And yeah, they're good to go. If you guys want to learn anything more about distress spray stains and distress oxides, I would love for you guys to join me on my next distress technique class, which is on Saturday, next Saturday. But as with all of my online classes, you guys can take them whenever it is convenient for you. So if you can't attend the class live next Saturday, you can take the class whenever it works. You'll have access to the handouts and the replays of the videos. You'll be part of a private Facebook group. You can tag me in questions within the group, or you can always send me emails with questions. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of inky fun in that class, and I've got a lot of fun things to share with everybody. So I'm very excited. Um, and then, yes, remember you can sign up for my next Lawn Fawn class with Shari, which is Birthday Bash. So excited. May is the best time to make birthday cards. Thank you so much, Anna, or Anne and Annalisa. Um, Yes, I need to put them on card bases. I actually, Jen, while you guys were on your honeymoon, I went live on Instagram, and pre-made a bunch of bases. So I do have quite a few bases made, but I still got to put my cards on them. Instagram is not letting me go live on my Jen Shirkus Instagram because months ago, I'll just tell this quick story and then we'll go. But months ago, I screenshot a silly, like one of those spammy messages where like the creepy guy is like, "Hey, can I be your sugar daddy?" So I screen cap shot that and posted it on my story like, "Ha ha ha, I'm not going to teach card making anymore. This is my new gig." And Instagram flagged me for bullying. So they won't let me go live on my Jen Shirkus Instagram. So I went live on Mr. Harley's Instagram, which not many of you guys could find me, and it was fine. We had fun, the few of us that were there. But anyways, hopefully Instagram will realize that I'm not a bad person, and they will let me go live on my Jen Shirkus Instagram, because I think those are fun to do, like crafty chats and get my cards on card bases. But anyways, the joys of all the things that happen behind the scenes. Well, thank you guys so much again for joining me. If you're joining the replay, thank you for watching that as well. As always, if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you in a class soon. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye.